Okay, last time we did graphing inequalities, the shading stuff. Now, that is really hard to see. But they shaded this side, this side, this side. Like, I can even barely tell it. My face is right up against it. There. Okay? I don't remember if we did these ones together or if I'd set you loose on them.
You left us.
Because we all seemed pretty good with it. It was graphed a line, we did fine with the lines. Okay, solid or dotted, which way do I shade? And we seemed really good with it, but are our lines going in the right direction? Are they solid or dotted like they're supposed to be? Did you shade the right direction? Were you careful with your scale? The scales on these were extra tough. Because some of them were going by 2s, some of them, maybe they went by 2s only on the y-axis, but not the x. And that really monkeys with things. So is there anything 6 through 9 that we need to go through? Nothing? Okay. Then, next page. I'm pretty sure we did the word problem together. Yeah, because we were talking about anything in there as a solution. Okay, down at the bottom, they shaded there, 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 and there. Okay, check your work. Yep. Remember doing these with pen? Bad idea. Pencil, yay. Multiple different color pencils, even better because you can erase it, but you still really see well what's going on. Remember, I got a whole box of them up there if you need. Okay. Doing math with a pen is either a really bad idea or a flex. Okay. Did we do okay? Do our lines look good? Right y-intercept, they're sloped the correct direction. You're remembering your solid or dotted. Okay. Particularly the scale. The scale's usually kind of rough on us. And then a few more. Over there and over there. Maybe Gavin might be able to see where it's shaped up there, but it's pretty hard. Barest green of a tint as to which side it's shaded on. It's really tough to see. Okay.
I can see.
Anything about it? Did we do okay with that scale on 16? Remind me again, how do I know which way to shade? You throw 0, 0. If 0, 0, or any point, we just pick 0, 0 because it's easiest. If 0, 0 works, then that's a solution. If it doesn't, it's not. If I put a 0 here and here, I get 0 is greater than 6. That's not true. So that means nothing on that side is true. I shade the other side. Okay? If I put 0, 0 in here, I get 0 is greater than or equal to -2. Well, that's true. If that's true, everything on that side is true. Shade that side. Remember, there was also a little bit of a cheater way if they're written in slope-intercept form like this. This says y is greater than or equal to the line. So I go to where the line hits the y-axis and I shade up from there. Okay, nice and easy. Y is greater than the line, shade up from the line. All right, what about the words? Words are usually a little sketchy for us. Okay, they tell me I'm charging this much for that, I'm this much for this, but then it tells me it's this inequality. So, nothing bonkers about it, it's just, well, graph that one. What that tells me is I'm now able to sell maybe 6 pairs of, what is it, shoes and clothes. I can do 6 pairs of shoes and 2 clothing items. And that'll work. That is shaded the other direction. 6 pairs of shoes and 10 clothing items. There we go. Now it'll work. Anything on that side will work. 18. That is something we didn't explicitly talk about as inequalities, but I remember us talking about them as equations. Do you remember somewhere writing down, if I ever have x equals a number versus y equals a number? You remember those? X equals number, what does it look like?
Vertical.
Vertical line. Y equals number.
Horizontal.
Is a horizontal line. Okay? So when they say y is less than or equal to 8, it's just straight across at 8, everything below that. So, show me thumbs. How do we feel about this? Like, I got this. If you give me a test of 6 of these questions right now, I will annihilate it. Or, I'm a little sketchy, some of these went south on me, I should practice some more. Or, I have no clue what's going on. What do you think? Okay? Practice, or because we missed some class, either, right? That's kind of where I figured we're at. So, we are not doing a daily quiz. A, I'm not doing one because I figured we needed more practice with the graphing. But B, I also don't think it's fair to come in a week later and say, all right, now do a daily quiz. Because wasn't that the last time you were in here? Last Thursday? Okay, because of that, the pre-ACT. That go okay for you?
I did not finish a single one.
That's the thing about standardized tests like that, college placement tests. Now this was the pre-version of the test. Their time. And the time on them sucks.
30 minutes.
Okay.
I can publish.
Okay.
So did I.
The timing on them is rough. If you're someone who normally has an accommodation for like extra time on it, when you go take the regular ACT, if your goal is to get into a tech school or a 4-year school, when they say 60 minutes, they mean 60 minutes. When they say 45 minutes for this section, they mean 45. And even if you normally have extra time, Your case manager has to go and just forms like you wouldn't believe. We have to submit all of your 3-year evaluation. You know, every couple of years you have to go do all the tests and stuff. You have the big meeting that says like, yeah, you still need help. Okay, which nothing wrong with that. Guess who's 37 and finally got ADHD needs? Okay, finally, first time in my life. Okay, that help is necessary. That's all those tests say. They have to put all of that paperwork and give it to the ACT company with all of these like signed affidavits and like, you know, cut your palm, put blood on there. They have to give all this stuff, and then they're like, okay, after 2 months of fighting, you may have 10 extra minutes. And I'm not exaggerating. Okay, you see Miss LaCroix's face over there. She's like, yeah. She has had to fight that demon before, many times. Blood for the blood
That was
god.
an exaggeration.
Okay. No, that is the blood is the exaggeration. Everything else isn't. Okay. No. Why do you think she has that demon tattoo on her?
I have no tattoos.
So I just want y'all to know that pre-ACT, that's like the warm-up. That's the batting cages before going to the pros. Okay? When I say in terms of the time they require, they are very, very strict about it. But we haven't been in here for a week, so I didn't feel it was fair to do a daily quiz. I just wanted to go through this real quick. What we're going to do instead is I just got a handout. We're going to practice this some more. You're going to have, I'm going to do some stuff, you're going to do some stuff. And then if we finish, then you get to just chill, okay? Or better yet, go take care of whatever you're missing if you are missing stuff.
I'm not missing anything.
The assignment parts, dude. You got the notes on there, you need the assignment parts. Okay?
Thank you.
Should I just have the box back here?
I should have just kept it then.
Oh, we just went right past it.
I'm gonna
Sorry
start
about
lonely. What was that? Bradley had to go and move on. Come on.
Okay. So, the top row. I'm betting we're okay with 1 and 2. You think you can do them real quick?
Yes.
Good. And then I want you to argue with the neighbor, how do you do 3? Well, because what we're going to work with today is not just the practice, but practicing also when it looks weird. It's not going to be in the nice slope-intercept form that we're used to. Some of these are going to be in different forms of the equations, like standard form, or maybe just a jumble of letters and numbers. Again, please use straight edge. Don't just BS it. Anyone else need some colors? And you're covered. Pile of them. Need some?
I'm good.
You good?
Violet.
Okay. So, like Paxton said there, if it's y equals, I would just have a horizontal line. So up at 1, 2, 3, 4, I have a horizontal line, but I'm already wrong.
It needs to be. It needs dots.
Dotted line. Okay, less ink here, less ink there. So I can come back and just erase parts of it instead of erasing the entire thing.
And then you cut it up.
And y is less than down below. Okay. Round 2, because it's x equals a number, it's a vertical line. At 1, that one will stay solid. More ink here, more ink there. And it says x is what then?
Greater than.
Greater than. So left or right?
Right.
To the right, to the right. Okay? So that's the base model. But then you look at numbers 3 and 4, and they've made them look a little bit different. Okay, now we've got x's and y's. Now the way that we're used to it is y equals mx plus b, right? Slope and then y-intercept. Is y by itself?
Uh-huh. It's just.
Is it on the left side?
Right.
No.
It's just flipped around.
So when I flip it around, what do I need to do?
You gotta flip the sign.
Yep. Pac-Man still needs to be eating y. Wait,
I think I did it right.
stuff is missing.
That means that it's
Plus 0.
It's a 0. If it's not there at all, it's a 0. So?
I knew I did it right.
Got a plus 0. So I will start at 0. Do you remember how I write my slope?
Up 3, right 1. Yeah.
First I turn this into a fraction. And then I remember 3 over 1 because I always go to the right, to the right. And that's positive. It tells me I go up. So from here, up 3, right 1. What else could I do?
Down 3.
Down 3, left 1. So I will also go down 3, left 1. And then I heard some of you already talk about the line, solid or dotted.
Solid.
More ink here, more ink there. So we fill that in. Use a straight edge, try not to suck. Okay, now we got a problem. I can't put 0, 0 in there.
Right.
Because it's on the line. That would be like me asking, what does your reflection look like when your face is already smashed against a mirror? Not the whole thing. I can pick a point besides 0, 1. What if I picked a point like 1, 0?
Question.
Put a 1 in here. What's 3 times 1?
3.
Put a 0 in here. Is 3 less than or equal to 0?
No.
No. So that means this is not a solution. Nothing on that side's a solution. Shade the other way. I can also look at my blue part here. Does not say y is greater than the line. If I'm greater than the line, I shade up from the line. Okay? So we were used to picking 0, 0 because it was the easiest point. I can pick other points.
Any point you want.
Literally any point that isn't on the line itself. Can you rearrange number 4?
Yes.
No.
Do it. You rearrange number 4. Might have to flip some stuff, maybe you have to divide some stuff, I don't know. Just make sure you're very careful with Pac-Man, with the direction that your inequality is going. I can tell there's less bodies in the room, my voice is echoing a little.
Yeah, there's not many people at school today. And it's crazy.
flip-flop it around. Make sure that Pac-Man's still eating X. Remember, there's a plus 0 here, and there's a negative 1 over 1 here. So I'm going to, if I have negative 1 over 1, it tells me I go down and to the right. I'll start at 0, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. Or up 1, left 1. Up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, left 1. Solid or dotted?
Dotted.
Okay, less ink here, less ink there. And again, I can't choose 0, 0. I can choose any other point that I want. But look at what this says. Y is less than the line. So I shade below it.
Hello. Good color.
Look, Daddy, this you.
You didn't need to type more.
Scribble. Right? We're at that wonderful stage right now where my kid's come back from his preschool daycare and he's always got pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures and more pictures. We've got a stack of construction paper. I'm learning new letters every week. Okay. Now, the other ones start getting weird. Because now, it doesn't look like I'm used to. Okay? So,
Okay.
I'm going to do all my work in the middle here, but you probably got room for this next to number 5. If I take this, x minus y, and then 1. If I want y by itself, remember back to first semester where we had solve for b?
Swap.
I don't want to swap yet. We did formula stuff, and I know y'all didn't like it very much, but where it was like, remember problems where it was like b minus 4a over c is 2, solve for a. You'd have to multiply by c, subtract b, then divide by negative 4, and it'd just be another mess.
Yes.
Okay, we did that for a reason. We were starting to practice how do I rearrange formulas, like equation formulas. If I want this y by itself, who's in the way? So, subtract x. You see why we spent so much time practicing equations? Okay. Now, I better go put our little line up there. Paxton's gonna get mad. Okay. So I still have a negative y. Are 1 and negative x like terms? No, they're not the same kind of critter. So we're just gonna put them next to each other. Now normally, I would say 1 minus x. I'd like the negative thing to be afterwards. But I'm gonna say negative x plus 1 because that's the order that my mx plus b is supposed to be in. Y still isn't by itself. That's not y, that's the opposite of y. I don't want to add y. What number is in front of that y right now? Negative 1. So I'm going to, if there is a negative 1 right here,
You're going to add.
I'll divide by the negative 1.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Right? Just like if there was a 5 there. Yeah.
So it works the same way if you just add the y to the other side, subtract the 1, and then...
I'll do it again. Yep. Yeah. These are different ways to do it. That's why we spent a semester on this, so that we could have all the tools at our disposal and you use what you're comfortable with. Okay?
Where were we? Negative 1 over negative 1, gone. What's a negative divided by a negative?
Positive.
Positive x. Negative 1, or sorry, 1 divided by negative. Negative 1.
Oh.
And I just divided by a negative. What do I got to do? Flip the inequality around. Okay, now I'm good. I will start where?
0.
0.
There's no line.
Remember?
Oh.
Y-intercept. From there, what number's in front of x if there's nothing there?
1.
1. Not a 0, because there's an x.
Yeah.
And because it's positive, I know I go to the right and up. Up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up, or down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. It's just this little pattern, okay? Solid or not?
Solid.
So these are called standard form. Now there's a trick to graphing them that's even faster. We're not there yet, or maybe we don't remember. But standard form is really nice for finding which way I shade. Because, check this out. Yes, this says below the line. But look how quick it is to plug zeros in there. Is 0 greater than 1? No. So shade that way. Now, Landon, you saw a different way to do this. I want you to tell me again what you did.
I subtracted y. I added y first, and then
Okay. Let's get that out of the way first. Goes away. Got x greater than or equal to, not like terms, y plus 1.
and then I subtracted the 1
Okay.
on both sides.
Subtract 1, subtract 1. Zeros out. Y is, and then x minus 1.
And then I flipped it.
And then pancake flip it. So rather than have to divide by a negative, Landon just swapped sides and pancake flipped it. Because, y'all, that still works. If I flop that, y is less than or equal to x minus 1, and that's exactly what we did. Okay? That's why we spent so much time on this. Okay? For example, certain someone sent me a meme today about yes, it was this close. Student does math problem different way from teacher. You dare challenge me, mortal? No. Landon just did it a different way than I did, and it was right. And I'm happy about it. Okay?
Looks like he wins.
We spent the entire semester learning all these different skills, practicing them, so that when you get to this, you can do what you feel like.
You should let me teach the class next time, like next period.
That's Spartan
Next
time.
class. Please, we have.
I think that would be terrifying.
It was.
I feel like it would be fun. It would be amazing.
It would be something, well, that's for sure.
Nothing. Nothing.
We would learn stuff.
No, we wouldn't.
You learn how to be an idiot.
Are you calling me dumb? Whoa.
Not cool. That is not cool. Same thing, I want you to get y by itself. Who's got to go first?
Y.
No, I want y by itself.
Two X.
Let's subtract 2x. This zeroes out. I still have a negative 3y. Are 6 and negative 2x the same kind of critter?
Nope.
They are not like terms. So I just put them right next to each other. Y is still not by itself. What's that negative 3 doing to y all hugged up on it? They're multiplying, so we will divide. Remember, math is communist. What you do for one, you do for all. You make sure to divide all of them by negative 3. Not just one on the other side, all of them. Okay, that part cancels. I got just a y. Negative 2 over negative 3. Well, I know it's going to be positive. Can I reduce 2 over 3? Do they have a number in common as a factor?
1.
That's a multiple. I want to factor something that goes into 2 and into 3.
1.
Just one, right? It's called relatively
Well, no.
prime. It means they won't actually get small. So I just leave it as 2/3. 6 divided by negative 3. Negative 2, and you are right. I have to flip my inequality because I divided by a negative. Okay. So that's what we're practicing. Not just the graphing part, but also extending this a little bit to, can you also rearrange stuff? So you already have your meat and potatoes. Let's sprinkle a little something on it. Okay?
Put a little bit of gravy.
Where do I start?
-2
Okay.
on the y-axis.
She learns. And if I have 2/3,
Up to down over 3.
up to right 3. So up to right 3, and I ran out of room.
And it's a solid
Down
line,
to
and you
left
cut it
3.
up.
If I can get at least 3 points on there, I want to do that. So I'll also go down to left 3. And you said it's a solid line.
And then you
So.
color it up.
And this says y is greater than the line. So yes, I shade above. Okay. There are 3 problems right below this. I would like you to do those. Argue it out with your neighbors. Can you get the y's by themselves? Okay? Now one of them is already in slope-intercept form, but the other ones, can you get the y's by themselves? Yeah. get that y by itself. Careful with your signs. This is why we write everything out, it's why we take line after line, why we zero things out.
So I'll play something around here. There's a giant, I do not know that in California, there's a giant arcade place. And there's like go-karts, mini golf.
I went to
stuff like
something like that before. There's Tang in the 90s called Thunder Road. That had a bunch of those.
There's something called like a fun time or something in like Omaha.
They had timeout. They had timeout.
Arcade, carnival games, batting cages, bungees,
Laser
go-karts.
Sounds too expensive for.
Oh yeah, it's pricey to go there, but dude, it's fun. If,
They can barely afford McDonald's.
same, but it was a treat I got to do 2 or 3 times when I was a kid.
Go where?
I have to hustle to get a large spot.
Use the card. What size?
0.7.
I don't know.
Got too busy arguing about cannons instead of eating lunch.
There's no reason. There's no reason.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. 3 or 6. Maybe 3 or 6. Or
Blank. Okay, not this guy by itself. So, who's in the way? How do you get rid of this guy? Drops. Put your X first. He's still in the way. So, since that's hooked up on it, they're multiplying, you're gonna have right? So you have to go to all of them. Simplify, divided by negative. Negative over negative is positive. 6 over negative 3 is negative 2. So we're good doing these. It was just getting there. Okay. You doing okay, dude?
Yeah.
I like the number of you I see using the Paxton line.
I don't use that.
I don't need no Paxton.
It helps. I mean, if it doesn't matter to you, don't do it. But if it helps, oh yeah, do it. I've got a couple of kids every year that are obsessed with that line because it's the only thing that makes it work.
Yeah.
Like going bowling and you have to have it lined one. Only way it'll work.
It was a good argument.
I guess I there. And run to the vintage.
When,
Yeah, and it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's like blank.
Okay.
It's like pocket. This like pretty much. Can you just like squeeze this one part?
Look at the noodles.
What the crap?
Oh my god. What did you say?
I said, what the crap?
That one. My teacher already finished doing it.
Looks like most of us are there. I got my lines up there, I don't have my shade. First one is already in the correct form, or in slope-intercept form. And it says y is less than the line. So I shade below the line. 0 is less than 6, I will shade towards the 0. 0 is not greater than 12, so I'll shade away from the 0. If you need to see how these are worked out, if I have 4x minus 3y is greater than 6, or less than 6, I'll subtract 4x, getting negative 4x plus 6. And then you have to be very careful, you have to divide every term by negative 3. Getting y is greater than, flop the inequality, 4/3 x minus 2. Did we forget to flop the inequality? Okay, whenever I multiply or divide by a negative, The other one, I have 3x plus 6y greater than or equal to 12. I'll subtract 3x. And divide everything by 6. Divide by 6, divide by 6, divide by 6. Getting y is greater than or equal to a negative 1/2 x plus 2. Okay? So, down at the bottom, instead of, I want you to rearrange it, I want you to graph it and all that kind of stuff, they're going to switch it up to matching. So this is real good test prep, actually. Can I do the thing? Don't do the thing? Okay. Being able to match a graph with an equation is kind of one of those quintessential math skills. Now, I don't hide anything. I'm honest about stuff. I'll even tell kids stuff that the administration tells me I'm not supposed to. I don't care. Y'all are young adults, you should be treating them adults until I be shown I can. And that means I'm going to tell you stuff that you should just know. One of those things is I hate standardized tests with a burning passion because of how they're biased, because of how they're used. I just really don't like them. But just because I don't like them doesn't mean that I don't acknowledge the reality that we still got to use them. So I will tell you tips and tricks and skills. I'm the guy who doesn't like standardized tests, but I'm the guy who does ACT prep. Okay? If you're going to play the game, play it well, even if I don't like the game. One of those is down here. It's multiple choice with graphs. And sometimes you can do these by a process of elimination without even knowing what you're really doing. You take the information that you are aware of and use it to cross things out. First thing that we see, solid and dotted lines. If this one is dotted, then already number 1 goes here or here. You ever done Sudoku? Where in the little boxes, you don't know what goes in there, but you know it's a 2 or an 8, so you put a tiny little 2 or an 8 until you figure it out. I don't kind of do that. I know that that's 1 or 4, just because of the dots. I know that this is 2 or 3, just because of the solid line. Okay. What else do you know? Look at all 4 equations. Okay, negatives, a negative slope. Ooh, that's a good one. Look at 2. It's a solid line and a negative slope. Well, there's only one of them, right? So this has to be D, which means by process of elimination, that one's got to be A. Okay. How can I narrow down the other 2?
Y-intercept.
All right. Right now, they're not in slope-intercept form, but I could get one of them in slope-intercept form, and I don't even have to do both of them. I just have to do one of them, figure that one out, and then the other one's left over, right? So which one is easier to get y by itself? 4, just subtract an x. Okay. Which one of them has a y-intercept of 1 and a positive slope?
C.
Okay. Y-intercept of 1. Oh, wait, negative slope. Ah, ooh. That was close. You still aren't up there. How are you not up there yet? Oh. A negative slope and a y-intercept of 1. So this guy is C, which means by process of elimination, B. Okay? So sometimes you can get away with doing them not by actually doing the whole problem, but maybe just narrowing down your options. Okay? The look on your face, Landon, right now is priceless.
Well, our classes.
You haven't gotten any yet this semester. Yikes. Yes,
May I go now?
now you can. Okay. Although we should put you in there. I'll move Will down and I'll put your class up there. Okay. On the back side. Y'all, I did some, you do some. That's it. That's your assignment. You got about a half hour to work on those 9 graphs. And that's it. Okay? Please don't be the kid that takes now to just check out and then you don't do this. Get it done now. Okay? Get her done now. And that's all we got for today.